Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back with another tier list video today. Today, we're going to be ranking the most boring fighters in the UFC. So, just to explain the rankings, the S tier, we're going to have the fighters that are probably going to put you to sleep while they're fighting. And in the C tier, we're going to have fighters that are still boring, but you probably can manage to stay awake and get through the fight. So, let's start off right away with none other than Merab. I'm going to put Merab in the A tier. Now, might be surprising. He fights this weekend. Hopefully, Sean O'Malley sleeps him. But Merab, I mean, if this dude didn't have cardio, he'd be one of the worst fighters in the UFC. Just spams takedowns the whole fight. Couldn't even get Jose Aldo down a single time. Held him up against the fence for 15 minutes. I know he beat Piotr Jan, but I mean, anyone really care about that? Merab has no technique. He doesn't get submissions. He can't knock anybody out. All he has is cardio. He just spams takedowns. His takedown accuracy is atrocious. He looks like a goblin. So yeah, Merab in the A tier I think is more than fair. I mean, I like to watch his fights just because I want to see him get KO'd. I sound like such a hater. So hopefully O'Malley can come through this weekend. But yeah, Merab in the A tier, a little Georgian goblin himself. Moving on, Cheeto. I'm going to put Cheeto in the C tier. Now, Marlon Vera is one of the most frustrating fighters ever because he could have one of the most entertaining fight styles, but he chooses to just sit back and throw 5 shots around and coast to a decision loss. Marlon Vera, just extremely frustrating to watch. Not that exciting. Has an iron chin, so he could march forward, take a shot to give one, and he's not willing to do that. So most of the time, Marlon Vera is going to be on the losing end of a decision, putting you to sleep. Maybe not to sleep, but maybe you're going to doze off a couple times before the fight's over. Yeah, I'm not exactly excited to see him fight anymore. He's never getting another title shot. So, yeah, Marlon Vera in the C tier. I mean, maybe he can work his way up to B one day if he continues to fight the way he is. Next up, Sean Brady, who just fought this past weekend. I'm going to put him in the B tier. Sean Brady, mediocre striking, really good grappler, obviously, but who is he finishing? Nobody really. He got stopped on the feet by Belal, which in itself is hilarious because Belal doesn't stop anybody. Yeah, Sean Brady, pretty boring guy. Can you imagine if this dude got to the champion status? Oh my goodness. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd never want to watch 170 again. But yeah, Sean Brady in the B tier. He called out Ian Garry and Colby Covington. Honestly, I think Ian Garry would smoke this dude on the feet. But yeah, let's move right along because just talking about this guy's boring. Sean Strickland. I'm going to put him in the C tier. Now, Sean Strickland, C tier because he has a great personality and his press conferences are some of the funniest. But the problem with Sean Strickland is he talks like he's going to go to war every single fight. Like, yeah, we're going to bring you guys a fucking war, guys. Just to get in the octagon and throw teeps and jabs for 5 rounds to a decision. Like, bro, don't come out here talking about how you're going to bang and go to war just to put us to sleep. Like, come on, dude. But he has a good personality. He's funny on the mic, so we'll put him in C tier today. But his fighting style is just not what he puts it out to be. Moving on, Movsar Evloev. This guy, oh my, I'm gonna put him in A tier. This dude, there's not many fighters that I don't want to watch as much as I don't want to watch this dude. I mean, I think he lost to Arnold Allen. The problem with people like Movsar is that he has no finishing ability, zero finishes in the UFC, just a smudge grappling merchant. And to me, that's not entertaining. Like, I want to see fighters that are trying to go for submissions, trying to go for knockouts. And this dude, he's just not doing that. He's just smudge grappling his way to a decision, and then he's talking about how he deserves a title shot. Like, bro, if you want to get a title shot, then finish fights. Stop going to decision every fight. No one wants to see that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with that. All right, moving right along. We got Aljamain Sterling. I'm also going to put him in the A tier. Kind of the same thing. Besides a one-armed TJ Dillashaw, who is Aljamain Sterling finished in the last like 5 years? Corey Sandhagen? Corey the boring man Sandman Sandhagen? Like this dude, he moved up to 145. Sure, he steamrolled Calvin Cater, but aside from that and his fluky title reign, who is he entertaining? Aljamain Sterling? Mm, Aljamain boring. Yeah, not a fan of the Funk Master as he calls himself. He's got some of the cringiest trash talk, and he just, I don't know, man, his fighting style. I don't think he has a single knockdown in the UFC. So you know you're in the A tier if you're not have a single knockdown in the UFC, not one. So yeah, Aljo, step up your striking. Let's see. I want to see you KO this dude right next to you in your next fight. KO this dude stiff, and then maybe you can move down to the C tier. Maybe. Moving right along, Alexandre Pantoja. I guess I'll put him in the B tier. I mean, probably could be A tier, but another smudge grappler. If he didn't have an orange chin, no way he would be champion. He just goes forward like a zombie and takes shots on the chin without having to worry about anything because he has a pretty orange chin. But let's not get that twisted. He is extremely boring. I mean, whenever Davis and Figueiredo was champion in flyweight, it was so much better. Just straight violence, straight hammers coming for the knockout every time, coming for the finish. This dude's not coming for the finish. He's coming for a 5 round split decision win. That's what he's coming for. And he arguably lost his last fight, so he shouldn't even be champion. But that's besides the point. Alessandro Pantoja, B tier, I think is more than fair. I mean, yeah. Moving on. Oh my goodness. Belal Muhammad. Now, I do not like Belal Muhammad. He's one of the fighters that frustrates me because I feel like 10, 11 fights in a row, he's just not good. Even making it to champion, I still don't think Belal's good. He has no submissions. He has no KO power, pillow hands, fights to a decision 99% of the time. Belal Muhammad is one of the most unskilled fighters to ever make it to the top. What does he have? Impressive control when grappling with zero submission threat, zero anything. I think whenever this dude fights Shavkat destroys him. And I think Belal's on the sauce. Look at his physique back in the day versus what it is now. He is obviously on the sauce. Like, dude just developed like cracked genetics in the middle of his 30s, 36 years old, and he's at athletic peak performance. I don't believe that. I think he's on the sauce. And even on the sauce, he still can't finish a fly. I mean, it's just embarrassing that Belal Muhammad is champion. It's kind of funny and meme worthy because everybody was like, imagine if Belal becomes champ. But now that he has, I mean, it's quite boring. I'm not excited to see a Belal Muhammad fight. I hope Shavkat sends him to the shadow realm and we can actually have a guy who finishes fights, 18 finishes. Belal, what does he have? Like 27, 28 fights, maybe 5 finishes, 1 or 2 in the UFC. He finished Sean Brady. Bro, he hit Sean Brady in the face like 200 times before the ref had to stop it. And Sean Brady still didn't fall. Like, good God, dude. Belal Muhammad's hands must be made of like bubble wrap or something. But yeah, S tier for Belal. Easiest rating on this whole tier list. Sound like a hater? Probably am. Moving on. Colby Covington. All right. A tier. Colby Covington, he's pretty boring. A lot of people think he's entertaining because of his talk outside the octagon and his 2 wars with Usman. But, I mean, who's the last fighter Colby Covington beat? RDA like 5, 6 years ago? He hasn't beat anybody. And he came back to get a random title shot against Leon Edwards. And that was an embarrassing performance. And he tried to like, I think he was trying to like put his hand up after the fight was over saying he won. Nah, bro. Colby Covington, stick to playing poker. Your UFC career is done. 36 years old. He's officially become what he hates, a nerd and a virgin. So, yeah. A tier for Colby Covington. I'm not excited to see a Colby fight. I'm not even excited to see a Colby interview anymore because he's just not. The whole shtick is getting old, and I think people are fed up and tired of it. So, yeah, Colby Covington, A tier, buddy. Next up, Mateusz Gamrot. Just had that fight with Dan Hooker. Let's put him in the C tier. No, B tier. Gamrot, another another fighter that doesn't really get finishes. He just kind of, I don't know, great jujitsu. What's up with these jujitsu guys that have great jujitsu but don't get finishes? It's very frustrating. Like, bro, you train your whole life to be a jujitsu artist to not be able to choke somebody out. And yes, I know I sound like a casual because if you got in the cage, you would get smoked. Yeah, of course I would. But bro, this is a professional fighter. Finish a damn fight. But yeah, he just lost to Dan Hooker, putting Dan Hooker back in the top 5. Kind of making lightweight a joke, but yeah, good for Dan Hooker, I guess. But yeah, Gamrot, not the most exciting fight style. Got busted up by Badil Dariush a couple years back. Lost to Jalen Turner barely. Just lost to shit, I just lost my train of thought. Just lost to Dan Hooker. Jesus. Yeah. Gamrot, not the best. We're going to move on. Leon Edwards. I'm putting him in the A tier just for the simple fact that he is one of the only fighters that has a striking style, but still tends to, make you bored. Like typically, if you have a boring fighter, it's a grappler. Oh, he smudge grapples. He takes him to the ground. He doesn't do anything with it. Understandable. With Leon Edwards, bro, he strikes and he's still boring. And I'm not gonna lie, that clip of him getting dropped on his head by Belal in their title fight was hilarious. You know the one. But yeah, Leon Edwards, bro, headshot dead. Your career's dead after that Belal fight. I mean, you look like you took a nap in the octagon, and you made me want to take a nap in the octagon during that fight. But yeah, I mean, Leon Edwards, A tier. Maybe if he comes back and smokes somebody in the first round, we can move him down the C tier. But he just, I don't know. He needs to press the trigger more and stop waiting to the fifth round to come out. Because you remember in the fifth round, he came out and he bloodied Belal, busted him up in the face. Bro, where was that the whole fight? The fuck are you doing? You were taking a nap, letting Belal, the snooze man, drop you on your head. So, yeah. Belal, remember the decision, and Leon, headshot, career dead, Edwards. That's terrible. But yeah, Leon in the A tier. Moving on. Ian, the P head Garry. Let's go B tier. Ian Garry, the most entertaining thing about his career is his wife and how she's a wag, wife and girlfriend. But yeah, did y'all see that tweet Shavkat put out? Ian Garry, just because Layla and your nutritionist go 25 minutes doesn't mean you can. That was hilarious. But yeah, Ian Garry just grappled his way to a decision against Michael Page and showing that he's the inferior striker, which fair enough, it's an MMA fight, but he was talking a big game about how he's going to smoke Michael Page on the feet. And then after the fight, even continued to say he smoked Michael Page on the feet. Like, bro, no, you didn't. You grappled. And yeah, but I don't blame him. He's just kind of boring. I mean, he couldn't finish Neil Magny. He didn't really do much. There wasn't a single scratch on Michael Page's face. Sure, he finished Daniel Rodriguez, but Daniel Rodriguez is like 38 years old. And yeah, Ian Garry, maybe he can become a champion. I don't think so, though. I think if he fights Shavkat, Shavkat sends his pea head flying through the octagon cage. Octagon cage? Yeah, ignore that. But yeah, Ian Garry, not Ian Machado Garry, Ian P head Garry. We're putting him in the B tier. All right, next up, Israel Adesanya. And we're talking about champion Israel Adesanya. And we're putting him in the A tier. All right, Israel Adesanya. Oh my, this dude is the coasting king. He will sit there and counter strike for a whole 5 rounds when he was champion against most of his fights. Arguably lost most of the fights while he was champion and was gifted decisions. But he has some of the most cringe one-liners, and he's just not fun to watch. Like, I used to be excited for Israel Adesanya fights when they first happened, but now, I mean, the Dricus fight was more exciting because Dricus took it to him and submitted him. But in the past, bro, Strickland fight, he got dominated. Before that, all those other fights, he was fighting to decision against the second fight against Whitaker, which I think he lost. The fight against Romero, which I think he lost. There's so many fights where Israel just, the fight against Cannonier, where he coasted to another decision. The second fight against Vittori, like this dude just has endless amounts of coast left in him. I mean, he got finished by Alex Pereira and then came back and knocked him out, which was entertaining, sure. But overall, whenever I'm watching the Israel Adesanya fight, I can probably go take a bathroom break for like 10 minutes and come back and not miss anything because he's just sitting there counter striking and just not contributing to the end of the fight. So that's all I can say. Israel Adesanya, A tier. Call me a casual for that one. I don't care. And lastly, Jailton Almeida, S tier, easily. Bro's one of the only heavyweight fighters that can make it into a smudge, hold you against the ground for 25 minutes fight. Bro, whenever he got finished by Curtis Blades, that was one of the most satisfying finishes I've ever seen. Just like trying to go, taking Curtis Blades down over and over and then just getting fucking hammered into a pulp at the end of the fight, but elbows. But yeah, Jailton Almeida. Remember whenever he sat on top of Derek Lewis for 5 rounds and couldn't submit him? Derek Lewis, you can't submit Derek Lewis? I mean, come on, bro. I know he don't have no neck, but and his balls are hot, but you got to do better than that. So yeah, Jailton Almeida. Imagine if he got to the fucking belt, bro. I'd love to see Tom Aspinall just fucking send this dude's head flying to the moon. But yeah, I was happy to see Curtis Blades finish him. S tier, very boring. I'm not exactly clamoring to watch a Jailton Almeida fight. But yeah, that's it for the tier list, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you agree or disagree with any of these, go ahead and call me a casual down below. I also want to say thank you for all the new subscribers and the support on the recent videos. And I really appreciate everyone watching and liking and commenting. So yeah, like and subscribe if you do enjoy these videos. And I'm going to be trying to upload every single day. So thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a good one.